This season has proven that the WNBA was never ready for this level of spotlight and attention. What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. The WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is under fire this week for an interview that she did on CNBC. Here's the interview, and here's what she had to say. I'm going to put this on 1.5 speed so we can get to the point.
But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that? Try and tamp it down or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases are involved in saying some very uncharitable things about the other.
One thing that's great about the league right now, we do sit at this intersection of culture and sport and fashion and music. Like, the WNBA players are really looked at now as kind of cultural icons.
True.
And when you have that, you have a lot of attention on you. There's no more apathy. Everybody cares. It is a little that Bird Magic moment, if you recall, from 1979 when those two rookies came in from a big college rivalry, one white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another. So social media is different today than it was in 1979 when it didn't exist. But, I always tell the players, I was told a long time ago, if someone's typing something in and you wouldn't ask their advice, ignore it. So it's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players.
Many WNBA players were not happy with how Cathy answered this question, and they took to their own social media to address it. And it went a step even further, and the WNBA PA came out with an official statement. They said, here's the answer that the commissioner should have provided to the very clear question regarding the racism, misogyny, and harassment experienced by players. There's absolutely no place in sport or in life for the vile, hate, racist language, homophobic comments, and misogynistic attacks our players are facing on social media. This is not about rivalries or iconic personalities fueling a business model. This kind of toxic fandom should never be tolerated or left unchecked. It demands immediate action and, frankly, should have been addressed long ago. The statement goes on further, you guys. I will put it on screen now if you want to pause this video and read it. And then in response to all this, Cathy tweeted this. During a recent media interview, I was asked about the dark side of social media and online conversation about WNBA rivalries and race. To be clear, there is absolutely no place for hate or racism of any kind in the WNBA or anywhere else. When I saw Cathy's interview and I saw the players' response to it and I just saw this story unfolding, my honest to God first thought was the WNBA was not ready for this kind of spotlight. From commissioner to owners to GMs to coaches to some players, not all, some players have been doing fantastic this season and handling themselves with such grace, to some fans, to some referees. The WNBA was not ready. The media was not ready for this. It was an overnight success with the WNBA, and with that, there has been such a spotlight on the WNBA, something that these players, these coaches, the media have wanted for so many years, but were not prepared for the moment. If Adam Silver was sitting at that desk, he would have had the right thing to say. He would have been ready for that moment. Some of the things that she said in her answer are not wrong. I totally agree with her. I've said it in other videos. There's only so much that you can do when it comes to internet trolls or internet bullies. I have dealt with them for the past 10 years. Anybody who has any sort of fame, it is something that comes with the fame. And I agree with her on that. Like, the best thing that you can do is ignore these people. However, I think that she missed the mark because there's a part of fame where your safety is also in jeopardy. I think she had a chance here to say, I do not condone any hate, any racism being spread by fans of this league or trolls of this league. However, if the women in this league feel that there's a threat to their safety, if they're feeling uncomfortable, they should know that they always have an open line to me. They can call me at any time. My door is always open. And then the WNBA should also have something in place, I don't know what department that is, that purposely focuses on the players' safety. Talking about the internet, if there's things going on the internet, people are being annoying, they're saying hateful things, there will always be those troll accounts that will have something to say. The best thing that you can do is ignore it. If you are getting death threats, if people are saying that they're going to come to your home, if anything has ever happened in person with you, if your family members are being threatened, all of these things are things that you can take action for. Caitlyn is somebody we have seen in many photos and videos. She has personal security. There are women in this league, as their celebrity rises, they're going to need that. They're going to have to live somewhere that is a little bit more secure. All of this comes with the territory. The internet trolls are one thing. When it goes beyond that, that is something that needs to be addressed. And I think it not only should be addressed publicly when asked about it, but the players should know that they feel safe. The players should know if there's a fan in person in the arena who says something racist towards me, hateful towards me, threatens me, that they are immediately kicked and banned from the arena. We have seen this happen in the NFL. We have seen it happen in the NBA. There has been many instances, and me working in the NBA for as long as I have, and I know I keep bringing this up, but this is my first season like totally diving into WNBA stuff. This happens quite a bit in the NBA, not only fans in person. We've seen it happen. We've seen Russell Westbrook get into it with fans. We've seen LeBron James get into it with fans because of fans overstepping. And that is the line that needs to be drawn. It's like, hey, this is our players' safety. We're always going to have their back. That is not tolerated, period. This is my first season that I have been invested in the WNBA. In the past, I've only ever followed specific players that I know. Chiney and Nneka Ogwumike, love them to death, been following them. Candace Parker has been my favorite player since I was a child. Diana Taurasi, I've worked with and also a huge fan of hers. Sabrina Ionescu is also somebody who I've been following because I just think she shoots the lights out and I love that about her game. But this season, I found new players that I love. And Enrique, who I interviewed a couple years ago, and I remember her being like the kindest, sweetest person, and I'd only really seen her highlights. Now this year, being able to tap into her game, see her ball out in the All-Star game is so cool to me. Like I said in my last video, Nafisa Collier is becoming one of my favorite players. I just think her game is so smooth. I love the way that she plays. Caitlyn obviously is one of my favorite players. We talk about her all the time on this channel. This is such an opportunity for fans like myself, new fans to the league, and I feel like the WNBA continues to sabotage themselves by not being ready for this moment. And I think it will get better. This really is like, it went from 0 to 100 real quick with how much the WNBA grew and how many more eyeballs are on it, but they were not ready for this moment. And it does start with somebody like the commissioner. Like, you have to be ready when you sit down for any of these interviews. You can't say the wrong thing, and this isn't the first time that she said something that just kind of missed the mark. With the Caitlin Clark situation, I don't feel like the WNBA, I've called it out multiple times, has handled this correctly. I think the media is partly to blame. I think some of the players are partly to blame. I think there's coaches that are partly to blame. There's agents now going online. Like, I truly hope after this season, seeing the record-breaking viewership, seeing how fans are reacting, seeing the new fans that are coming in, which you have to welcome them. They are here. If you guys watch any other sports fans can be so toxic. It comes with the territory. It sucks to say. If I could wave a magic wand and make everybody be a decent human being, I would do that. However, that's not reality. But what do you guys think? What did you think of the commissioner's answer to this question? And what do you think the WNBA needs to do better so that every week we're not talking about some drama that's going on within the league and we can actually talk about what these players are doing on the court? You guys let me know in the comments below. And of course, thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it and click that little subscribe button because I upload new videos every single week. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Uina.